Once again, I'd like to lead off the video by saying thank you to everyone who shows up here every day at the Florida Maquis YouTube channel, engages in the comments, likes, shares, subscribes. Best audience on YouTube, bar none. Would also, of course, like to say thank you to those of you who have stepped up one step higher and joined us over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. $1 per month, even less if you sign up for an entire year. Full disclosure, I am fighting something, some bug. I don't know what it is, but about 9 o'clock last night, it hit me like a ton of bricks and woke up this morning and felt like I got run over by a train. Seriously, it's ugly. But it gave me an idea for today's video. Funny story, I woke up and picked up the phone and saw Patriot Nurse had just dropped a video talking about, don't screw this up after the 2020 sniffles I did and I'm paying for it. There are going to be some strange pauses where I hit the mute button, where I have to cough. Well, basically in this video that she dropped, premiered 5-6 hours ago, she basically said that she didn't take good enough care to rest and convalesce after that, and she was really paying for it. And man, I can tell you what, if it's what she has is what I have, then there's just no cure for it other than sleep. Because just getting up and walking from where I'm at to the bathroom and back is just like exhausting. It's like running a 10K. But I always believe truly the best 6 doctors out there, not for any one particular thing, but just in general: fresh air, exercise, plenty of water, plenty of rest, good diet, and sunshine. Now, let's think about this though in a grid down, power down situation. We'll still have fresh air, the opportunities to exercise, water, probably plenty of time to rest, and the sun will come out. But that good diet part, there's something coming that I don't think a lot of preppers have planned for. I mean, they've made all sorts of provision for quote-unquote the zombie apocalypse. They got their emergency food rations, and they got their melee weapons and their footwear and all this good stuff. But they probably didn't think that it would be a good idea to heavy prep things like nutritious fruits and vegetables. Some might say, well, it's very hard to keep. It's very, very, very difficult. It goes bad quickly. Well, you would need to necessarily be focused on prepping the ability to create it, basically. Plant it, grow it. Honey stays good pretty much forever. You can seal up carrots, and I've chopped them up and had them last months. Same thing with dried coconut. Figs and dates last virtually forever in the fridge. Same thing with pecans and walnuts. You can dry blueberries. Avocado, pineapple, and spinach are a little bit more difficult, but generally speaking, if you want to focus on healthy food, you can. But here's what's coming that I don't think a lot of people are seeing. North America is replete with these people and their enablers. Pay attention to this. And their enablers. Nobody gets this big without help. Nobody does it by themselves. Some might say it's the government checks, the disability checks, the free money that gives them the ability to continue to enhance their quote-unquote lifestyle. But if you're in a prepper compound, in a survival situation, and all you have are healthy foods, those people aren't going to want to be a part of your group. However, if you have all these nice freeze-dried, ready-to-eat meals that they can raid and sneak out at night and get their enablers to go steal from you, absolutely they'll want to be part of your group. So you might see somebody like that, and let's get to that in 1 minute. You might see somebody like this and go, man, I don't know if I want this person in my group or not. That's just, if they're going to be in my group, they're going to be on a calorie-restricted diet. They're going to have to drop some weight. And they'll say, okay, well, we'll try. But then, of course, they will make sure their enabler gets to be somewhere in charge of the food, and they will sneak stuff. See, people feel threatened by manipulation, erosion of their self-esteem, life changes, and challenges to their security. It's why you can never challenge these people. It's the heart over the mind argument. You never get here on the left by yourself. And there's a lot of people. Now ask yourself the question, would you have these people in your survival group? What if they said, hey, we're Bible-believing Christians. We voted for Donald Trump. We have dozens and dozens of weapons. We have thousands of rounds of ammunition. And we have an entire 10 by 20 storage unit full of freeze-dried everything. Would you still have these people in your group? Would they be able to help you effect good survival? See, for every 1,000-pounder, there's a 350-pounder enabling, making themselves feel better. Of the recurring themes among the people who enable bringing huge amounts of food to a person with super morbid obesity is, I love her. How can I say no? Viewers are incessantly stunned by these types of comments, straight from the mouths of enablers who may be the spouse, significant other, parent, child, or even sibling of the super morbidly obese man or woman who's bed or chair-ridden due to their size. You see, they can't say no. And once again, they're going to seem like good people. They're going to definitely need your help. But what of the other people in your survival group that need everybody pulling their own weight, so to speak? Pardon the pun there. Do you think this person could pull their own weight in whatever group you have? Of course they couldn't. But of course, what do they say? Well, this is orange juice. It's healthy. And I see plenty of healthy people go to McDonald's. I see plenty of healthy people order pizzas. It's been said that the super morbidly obese person is skilled at manipulating their enabler or caregiver. What would make someone continuously bring huge amounts of unhealthy food to their loved one who's so obese that they're confined to a bed? As is the case with drug addiction, changes in the chemistry of the brain can cause people struggling with food addiction to manipulate others. And if it means manipulate them to steal your food, they'll do it. If that's what it takes to get more of their drug food. Now, in the last week or 10 days, we've talked about a very controversial subject, this idea of adultery, and how marriages right now in North America are glued together by the courts and pieces of paper and lawyers. Divorce rates are 70%, 80%, something like that. But here in Florida, there's a very strange paradigm about people that stay married but amend their agreement to allow for certain freedoms. Now, I'm sure a lot of people cringe when they think about this. But if you were going to have somebody in your group and you had to choose between one of those morbidly obese manipulators or people that were honest with each other, people that have the ability to talk to one another, people that have the ability to put aside their own personal misgivings and their pride, perhaps a little bit, their ego for the greater good, what would you choose? I know it's a tough thing because you want to see yourself as being a helper and a protector and someone who cares about those around and wants to see people be better versions of themselves. But if they don't want to be better versions of themselves, and if you put something like this before them, they just knock it across the room, which is what they would do, by the way, if you tried to put a plate of broccoli, apples, grapes, and sweet potatoes, even with avocados. You might be able to make some guacamole and chips. They might eat that. What would you do? I'm sure people know somebody like this. People go down and they'll look at their supplies and they'll see 25 buckets like this or 30 buckets like this. Like, man, somebody could, one of these big, huge people, could manipulate. Could manipulate their enabler to go behind my back and feed this person and put everybody at risk. And put every single person at risk. What are you going to do? You going to throw them out? I think you'd probably have to. Go to your local Costco's. Go to your local Sam's Clubs on a Saturday or a Sunday and tell me what you see. The whole idea of those supply houses was to help people save money. It's had an unintended effect. Pardon me. It's something to think about. It's something to discuss with your group, your survival group. How would we handle this? And look, I'll be very honest. If it's a grid down, power down, end of the world situation, and you've got people that are morbidly obese, or people that remember how to make babies, that's going to be something to consider long term. I know it's squeamish. I know people don't like it. I know people are like, ugh, I know it has to go on, but I don't want to know. To me, personally, this is far more disgusting on the left here. This is, to me, this is worse than any event between a man and a woman being intimate. Worse to look at for me. There are pictures far worse than this. I had to kind of censor this. But go look up the morbidly obese. Go look up at the things that they have to deal with. But there's always an enabler, and that's the real threat. The enabler is the real threat. The enabler is the one that's going to come to you. It won't be these people. It'll be the enabler. And they're going to have all sorts of stories about how they need this and they need that, and they're going to talk a really great game. Things to talk about now before the lights go out. I can't believe I made it all the way through this video. So anyway, God bless. Thank you guys for being here. Very, very much appreciate it. Join us over at Patreon. We are going to delve deeper into certain paradigms that are talked about in the Bible in virtually every chapter regarding men and women and their relationships, and going forward, how things are going to have to change, at least for a temporary time. So I'll leave it there. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.